I would like to welcome you to this Know It Plus session, which will provide information about type 2 diabetes. This session will cover what it is, the different types, long-term complications associated with it, and how to manage diabetes and reduce the risk of developing these complications. This information will assist you because you play the most important role in managing your diabetes. In order to control it, it's important to understand what diabetes is, and the following video from Diabetes UK explains this in detail.
About 90% of people with diabetes have type 2 diabetes. If you've got type 2, the insulin your pancreas makes can't work properly, or your pancreas can't make enough insulin. And we all need insulin to live. It does an essential job. It allows the glucose in our blood to enter our cells and fuel our bodies. When you have type 2 diabetes, your body still breaks down carbohydrate from your food and drink and turns it into glucose. The pancreas responds to this by releasing insulin. But because this insulin can't work properly, blood glucose levels keep rising, so more insulin is released. For some people with type 2 diabetes, this can eventually tire the pancreas out, meaning their body makes less and less insulin. This causes even higher blood glucose levels. So what does this mean? Well, as your body can't get enough glucose into your cells, a common symptom of type 2 diabetes is feeling very tired. Other symptoms include needing to wee a lot, feeling extremely thirsty, cuts and grazes healing slowly, and getting infections like thrush. A lot of people don't get any symptoms or they don't notice them. Some people don't think the symptoms are important, so don't ask for help. This means that people can live with type 2 diabetes for up to 10 years before being diagnosed. And over a long period of time, high glucose levels in your blood can seriously damage your heart, your eyes, your feet, and your kidneys. These are known as the complications of diabetes. But with the right treatment and care, the effects of diabetes and high glucose levels can be managed. So if you've got any of these symptoms, see a doctor as soon as possible. There are different ways of treating type 2 diabetes. Some people can manage it by healthier eating, being more active and losing weight. Eventually, most people will need medication to bring their blood glucose down to a safe level. Whatever the treatment, everyone with type 2 diabetes needs to learn how to live with it. We help people do exactly that. Take a look at our website to see how we can help you. Our researchers are also investigating ways to put type 2 diabetes into remission, so people's blood glucose levels return to normal and stay there. And they're finding out more and more about type 2 diabetes, so that we can do more to prevent it, find new ways to treat it, and one day find a cure.
Remission of diabetes was mentioned in the video, and this will be discussed more in the Eat It section. No matter what treatment you're on, you will always have type 2 diabetes. There are other types you may have heard of, and these include type 1 diabetes. This is when the pancreas stops making insulin and the person immediately needs insulin injections to control blood glucose levels. Gestational diabetes is another type of diabetes pregnant women can get because hormone changes during pregnancy make it difficult for the body to use insulin properly. This usually goes away once the baby's born, but makes the woman more likely to develop type 2 diabetes in later life. Secondary diabetes is caused by disease or damage to the pancreas. This destroys the part of the pancreas which makes insulin. Just to give you an example, in the west of Scotland, the most common cause of secondary diabetes is excess alcohol consumption, which damages the pancreas and it can't produce insulin properly. But this can also be caused by other medical conditions, for example, cancer of the pancreas. About 5.5% of the population in Scotland have type 2 diabetes. 20 years ago, 2.5% of the population had it. This shows you how the prevalence of diabetes has grown in such a short time. Of the total number, most have type 2 diabetes, about 90%, with the remaining 10% having type 1 diabetes. High blood glucose levels, high blood pressure and high cholesterol can cause damage to blood vessels and nerves around the body. Good diabetes control is not just about glucose. The following 2 videos from Diabetes UK explain how having high blood glucose, high blood pressure and high cholesterol damages the blood vessels.
When you have diabetes, you're more at risk of having high blood pressure. This is when your heart has to work harder to push blood around your body. By understanding what can cause this high pressure, you can reduce your risk of it being a problem. So let's take a look at how high blood sugars and high blood pressure can cause problems in people with diabetes. Here's a blood vessel. You have blood vessels all over your body. They carry blood to your vital organs like your heart, kidneys and brain. And your blood is made up of individual red blood cells. When there is too much glucose, also called sugar, in the blood, your blood cells start to get sticky and stick to the inside wall of your blood vessels. As more blood cells build up on the inside wall, they start to form clumps, and this makes it harder for the blood to flow through. The narrower the space, the more the pressure builds up, and this means the heart needs to work harder to push the blood around. This causes the blood cells to start bumping into the blood vessel walls, which damages it. This means your blood can't flow to the places it's needed, like your heart. And this can lead to problems like heart disease. Keeping your blood sugar at your target level will help to bring down your blood pressure if it's too high, and so reduce your risk of complications like heart problems. Get all the facts about diabetes and blood pressure at www.diabetes.org.uk/blood pressure. When you have diabetes, having too much glucose, also called sugar, in your blood can make it harder for blood to flow around your body. And having high cholesterol, or blood fats, can make things even worse. So let's take a look at how high blood sugars and high cholesterol can cause problems in people with diabetes. Here's a blood vessel. You've got blood vessels all over your body. They carry blood to your vital organs like your heart, your kidneys and your brain. And your blood is made up of lots of individual blood cells. When there's too much sugar in the blood, your blood cells start to get sticky and stick to the inside wall of your blood vessels. The walls of your blood vessels also get sticky, and this can cause other things in your blood to stick to the walls as well, like cholesterol. Cholesterol is a type of fat in the blood, and when this fatty material meets the sticky lining caused by high blood sugars, it can start to build up and form a clump. This clump can act a bit like a speed bump for the blood cells and can stop them flowing through the blood vessel properly. So high cholesterol combined with high sugars results in more problems for your blood flow. This means your blood can't flow to the places it's needed, like your heart, and this can lead to problems like heart disease. You can reduce your risk of serious complications by taking action to keep your blood sugars and cholesterol at your target level, and we have lots of information and support to help you get there. You can find out more about diabetes and cholesterol at www.diabetes.org.uk/cholesterol.
You can see now how having high blood glucose, high blood pressure and high cholesterol can affect your blood vessels, and you'll understand now how important it is to have these measured regularly. But how do we measure these? Well, you know how blood pressure is measured using the monitor in your GP surgery, and cholesterol is measured from a blood test which is sent to the lab. But how are blood glucose levels measured? The blood test to check your glucose levels is called an HbA1c, or glycated haemoglobin. Some glucose from the food you eat sticks onto your red blood cells, and you can see this in this diagram. The more glucose that's in your blood, the more it sticks onto the red blood cells and will give a higher result. The blood cell on the left will give a lower result than the red blood cell on the right. This is a blood test that's taken and sent to the lab in order to measure your glucose levels. You might have heard of people who check their own blood glucose levels, but there's no need for you to monitor these when you're newly diagnosed with type 2. If there ever is a need for you to check this yourself, your GP or practice nurse will discuss this with you first. In order to avoid damage to your blood vessels, your heart, brain, eyes, kidneys and feet, blood glucose, blood pressure and cholesterol need to be controlled at a certain level. These targets are based on many years of research, which showed that achieving these levels greatly reduced the risk of you developing diabetes-related complications. Targets are always individualised and will be discussed and agreed with you by your GP. I recommend that you register with My Diabetes My Way. This will allow you to view your own results. This will allow you to take control and improve them if necessary. You will find information on how to do this at the end of this video. We will now move on to look at the complications of diabetes. This slide shows atherosclerosis, which is the narrowing of the arteries. You saw this in the videos. Ageing causes this to happen, but it can happen sooner and at a younger age if you have poorly controlled diabetes. Heart attack and stroke are caused by damage and blockage of large blood vessels which supply the heart and brain. But small blood vessels can be affected too, and if blocked, they can damage other parts of the body. Damage to the eye is called retinopathy. Your retina is at the back of your eye. The eye can be affected due to blockages in small blood vessels in the back of the eye. These blockages cause new blood vessels to grow, but these new blood vessels are weak and can burst, causing bleeding into the back of the eye. If this goes undetected, eyesight can be affected. This is something that's checked for at your retinal screening appointment, and if new blood vessels are detected, they're normally removed using laser therapy to prevent any bleeding into your eye. And for this reason, it's really important that you attend your retinal screening appointment. Damage to the kidney is called nephropathy. The kidneys can be affected due to blockages in the small blood vessels, and this affects how the kidneys filter your blood. The kidney filters out waste products and keeps essential products in your body. If the blood vessels become damaged, the kidneys become leaky and excrete substances they should not, for example, protein. If protein is detected in your urine, medication is given which can stop this from progressing. If kidney damage continues, then kidneys can eventually fail and that person would need dialysis. It's therefore really important to take a urine sample to the surgery when you're asked to attend for your diabetes checkup. The effect that diabetes can have on your feet will be discussed in the To It section. So, moving on to managing diabetes. So how do you control your blood glucose, your blood pressure and your cholesterol and prevent these complications from happening? You play the most important role in controlling your diabetes by doing what you can to meet the targets we have discussed. Your GP and practice nurse will help. You may know some of this already, but in managing diabetes, it's really important that you eat a healthy diet, reducing both the sugar and salt. Increase your activity levels if you can. Lose weight if you need to. Take your prescribed medication. Stop smoking if you smoke, because smoking will raise cholesterol and blood pressure levels. Reduce alcohol if you need to, because again, alcohol will raise glucose levels, blood pressure and cholesterol. And attend your review appointments to monitor your diabetes. And these are really important to attend. And if changing lifestyle does not improve your diabetes control, then your GP will discuss initiating medication with you. The Eat It section will provide lots more information on healthy eating. You will be reviewed by your GP practice at least once a year. You will have your blood taken to check your blood glucose and cholesterol levels and have your blood pressure checked. Your urine sample will be checked for protein, and you will receive an appointment to have your feet and eyes checked when this is due, either in a hospital, site or a health centre. All of your results are available on My Diabetes My Way, and I encourage you again to register for this. The next 3 slides provide contact information and websites for groups and organisations where you can get more help to understand and manage your diabetes. Thank you.